Fine.
All right, let's get. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to share our study with the title EFL Teachers' Perceptions and Process of Feedback Delivery Discourse to Young Learners. My presentation consists of 8 parts: introduction, literature review, methodology, findings, discussion and conclusion, implications and limitations, recommendations, and the last one is references. Now, let's move on introduction. So it cannot be denied that delivering corrective feedback for young learners' writing performance in Vietnamese context is challenging because of several reasons. The first reason is that writing is one of the most difficult skills for young learners to master. Besides, according to Lightbrow and Sparta 2006, so writing tasks can be very tiring and stressful for this age group because they are often not very good at writing in any language yet and used incorrectly. Feedback can discourage the students to the point where they no longer have any motivation. According to Clark 1990, the age of learners is one of the most important factors influence to the process of giving corrective feedback. Because at this age, children are developing conceptually. They develop their way of thinking from the concrete to the abstract thing. So according to Cook 2000, teacher talk is particularly important to language teaching. Teacher's talk plays a critical role in understanding which facilitates a second language acquisition. EFL teachers generally have difficulty in giving feedback to their students, especially EFL young learners. And the last one is providing corrective feedback for the writing performance of young learners in Vietnamese setting poses significant challenges due to various factors. Now let's move on literature review. So there are some definitions. The first one is definitions of perceptions. So Oxford Dictionary 2005 defines perception as a result of how they see and understand something. And the definitions of the young learners mean children from the first years of formal schooling of 5 or 6 years of age to 11 or 12 year age. So young learners have their own special characteristics that differentiate them from adult learners. The definitions of discourse. So discourse is anything written down or said or communicated using signs, according to Fillingham 1993. Besides, discourse is that language in its context of use. So there are 2 types of discourse, explicit and implicit. There are some previous studies on teacher talk and giving feedback. Classroom discourse and student learning conducted by Young 2008. A case of study on college English classroom discourse conducted by Liu and Lei 2012. A descriptive study of teachers' oral feedback in an ESL, a young learner classroom in Indonesia, conducted in E8 Malida 2013. In the study, we would like to examine EFL teachers' perception towards using their language in giving feedback to young learners. And we also would like to investigate the types of discourse which are considered more useful in giving feedback. There are 2 research questions. Number 1, what are EFL teachers' perceptions of the use of language to give feedback for young learners? And number 2, what types of discourse do EFL teachers find the most helpful to give feedback to their young learners? So to conduct the study, we use descriptive design, quantitative and qualitative methods. And there are 60 EFL teachers who are teaching young learners in Cantho City who are participants in the study. To find the findings for question number 1, we used questionnaires and interview, and we used observation and audio record for question number 2. So this is a timetable to conduct the study from week 1 to week 12. Week 1, designing the questionnaire. Week 2, piloting the questionnaire. Week 3, delivering the questionnaire to the participants. Week 4, analyzing data from the questionnaire. Week 5, designing and administering the interview. Week 6, analyzing data from the interview and make observation or audio recording. Week 7, 8, synthesizing on data. And from week 9 to 12, writing the graph, correction, and complete the study. Now, let's move on findings. The findings indicate that the average score of instructors' perceptions and practices of corrective feedback significantly deviates from both 3 and 4. And the study reveals that EFL teachers often demonstrated above average perceptions and practices when it comes to providing corrective comments on the writing of young English learners. The analysis indicates a disparity between the average rating of teachers' observation on errors made by young learners and the benchmark value of 3.5. EFL teachers' judgments of young learners' blunders can be deemed as mediocre. So the teachers under investigation possess unfavorable beliefs on the significant faults made of by their students in writing. Nevertheless, the comprehensive examinations of data provides other insights. So the next findings that most of the survey teachers share nearly similar views of the role of errors and of providing corrective feedback. The majority of the teachers believe that corrective feedback is useful in keeping record of their young students' learning progress. In addition, learners' errors can help students know their own strengths and weaknesses in learning writing. So the results from the study have indicated that in the teacher's opinion, so error correction is not always time-consuming. It depends on the techniques which teachers apply in their classes. Besides that, the type of the error is an influential factor for the strategy or technique used. Therefore, teachers should be flexible in selecting the errors and choosing correction methods suitably. So let's move on discussion and conclusion. The study has shown that the participants that pay more attention to these specific errors, such as when giving correction. So they focus more on grammatical and semantic errors than taking care of semantic and mechanic errors. During the observation time, learners did some semantic and mechanic errors, but teacher did not realize or chose to ignore those errors, so which might affect the way the students wrote. In general, there was a notable alignment between teachers' perception and their actual processes for direct and indirect feedback. And this suggests that the instructors' actions in the error correction task were consistent with what they had previously said in the teacher's questionnaire and interview. The overall findings demonstrated that English as foreign language instructors have a favorable understanding of significance of errors and corrective feedback in relation to learners' writing skills and language learnings as a whole. The majority of teachers concur that providing corrective comments can be beneficial in enhancing students' writing accuracy and improving their writing performance. Teachers possess knowledge in corrective feedback in relation to errors made by young learners, various forms of corrective feedback, techniques for delivering corrective feedback, and the implementation of corrective feedback in their teaching setting. So concerning the connection between perception and practices, there was a significant link observed between teachers' perception and their implementation of corrective feedback. Now, let's move on implementation and limitation. An important aspect is for teachers to motivate their students by encouraging them to take risks and providing positive feedback. So either orally or in writing. Additionally, teachers can offer rewards to those who perform exceptionally well and provide extra marks to students who provide correct answers. So the existing research on corrective feedback in writing has not comprehensively addressed all areas, hence limiting our understanding of EFL teachers' attitude and practices in this area. So this is due to the vast scope of the topic of language assessment and corrective feedback. Now the last one is recommendation. Further studies can be conducted on corrective feedback towards other English skills such as speaking, listening, in order to contribute valuable source in teaching career. And hopefully the current study and other future research will lead to greater awareness of giving correction and feedback to make better teaching and learning. So these are some references. All right, so thank you for your attention. Now, if you have any questions so far, you raise the question to me, please.
Thank you very much. So do we have questions?